stop what you're doing right now and listen to my story. I remember when I was younger, bro. I always used to think that, the pyramid of diet. So where there's is here or at the lowest level there is grains, bread, rice, then we go to vegetables, then dairy. After that we have like salty food, I think, and the last one, desserts, was the real thing and the real way to fitness. But after some years of self-improvement, 2 3 years of self-improvement, and after a video that changed my way on diet forever, I realized that a high fat, lower carb, high protein diet is the best way to fitness, to diet, to health in general, and to eating. So I want you right now to just imagine all those average guys, all those average doctors, what they have told us: to eat bread, which contains bad carbs, to eat pasta, which also has bad carbs, to eat a lot of milk, which has good protein, but it's bad sometimes for us, to eat, I don't know, grains, cornstarch, and starchy foods like pizza and so on, because they contain carbs. And what the fuck was that, bro? Carbs, yes, they do give us energy, but if we eat fats like yogurt, avocado, other fatty foods like nuts, you do not get that level of energy. But one thing that they haven't told us is that carbs, if they're eaten in a too high quantity, they will make us feel less and less full, if, especially if they're bad carbs like bread, pasta, other types of carbs. But with fats and with protein like meats, nuts, you do not get that feeling of not being full. And that's how they have lied to us for centuries. If you want to watch the best documentary on this topic, watch Carb Loaded. Search Carb Loaded on YouTube right now, and you'll see a fucking mind-blowing experiment done by some doctors in which they debunk the myth of the pyramid scheme, that pyramid of aliments, of diet, which is in fact false. So stop with all those carbs. Because, bro, in my experience, after, let me tell you my story before this. I was a heavy junk food eater, heavy carb eater. I used to eat a lot of bread, and my family used to tell me that you should eat a lot of bread. But, bro, after, the years of self-improvement, I realized that bread only makes you fat, doesn't give you any nutrition value, just carbs that need to be digested, and you'll get a lot of more energy than you need. Pasta is not good. All the carbs are bad. Almost all the carbs are bad. So be careful what you eat. Now, we in our tribe of young men on self-improvement need to realize that all these average guys who still think that carbs are good will be less and less good in their life, less and less healthy in their life, and we will go and reach a newer, better place in our life. So just imagine the average guy. He eats his pasta, he eats bread at the day, he eats fucking pastry in the morning. He starts feeling full, he doesn't have any energy for maybe even going to the gym. We are not talking about here that he has a business, so he doesn't even have energy for his business, work, schoolwork, homework, anything. And on the other end, we have the self-improvement guy who eats, let's say, some nuts or doesn't eat anything when he wakes up. Yes, he is hungry, but with that hunger, if he goes into ketosis, he's not going to feel any more hungry. because his body is consuming his energy for some hours, and he will have the best mental capacity to work on his business, go to the gym, and other important activities that require mental points, brain points. Because one thing that my mentor told me is that we each have 100 brain points, sorry, in a day, and we must not overuse them. I know it's hard to not use all your brain points because you have things that you do not like homework, going outside to do like walk the dog or throw the trash, but you must limit those actions to the minimum and preserve your brain points for the start of the day, because in the middle of the day, if you ate, if you went to school, your brain points are halved. I know it's weird, but they are half. And I know it's hard for you to realize that we have been lied this whole time. My advice for our tribe, and if you know people that are trying to lose weight and you want to give them an advice, tell them about this video or just tell them from your perspective. Eat real foods. Stop eating bread because that's not real food. It's made by a fucking factory. Eat real foods that are made by an animal at a farm. Of, I don't know, crops like plants, trees. Eat food from trees. Eat foods from nature and from real places, not factories. So stop eating pizza. Stop eating your shitty protein milk that's fucking mixed with preservatives and is not real. So I see all those guys in the gym space talking about, oh bro, I'm going to take my pre-workout. Do you think that shit is good for you? It's not real. Like, it's not made from a real thing. It's made from a mix of chemical bullshits like caffeine and other bullshits. Be honest with yourself. Get protein from real sources, not from protein bars. I know sometimes you have to, but limit them in order that you do not get the fucking weird sugars in them and other bad things like preservatives, BCAs. Like no BCAs. Like when you go look on the package, it says like E141. What the fuck is E141? Another tip, other than eating real foods, is check the packaging. If you go to the supermarket and you want to buy like yogurt, check the packaging, bro. You will be fucking surprised to see that it doesn't contain just yogurt. Yes, maybe. If you see a new yogurt and it has milk, salt, and that's it, it's okay. But if you see a yogurt and it has milk, sugar, acesulfam K or something like that, as sucralose, fructose, colorants or something like that, bro, just throw that shit out. And also, every time you go to the supermarkets, check the back of the foods, because you do not know what they put in it. If you're going to buy, let's say, fries for the oven or for the air fryer, and you see on them that colorants have been used or preservatives, what the fuck is this? Bro, you want to buy fries, not a fucking amalgam of things. Fucking mix of fries and preservatives and sugar and salt. Just be careful, because if you do not check the specifications of the products that you buy, you will be amazed that they use weird things that you haven't known if you didn't check. So be careful. That's another good tip in terms of diet. So another thing that you'll find in that carb loaded video, it's an experiment that has been lied and used to change the diet scene and the diet medicine forever. And that experiment told the world that in 7 countries they found higher fat diets were bad for you and they made you get a lot more diseases and they made you a lot more fatter. Bro, but one thing that they didn't tell anyone is that they did research in 22 countries and only 9 countries benefited and showed the rate that they wanted. So from all the 22 countries where they tested high fat, high carb and high protein diet, in only 9 countries they found that the high fat diet will at least affect you more than the high carb, and they patented it and they sent that way the study. So they didn't tell the whole truth. They didn't tell that they researched 22 countries. That's a bad thing, and the scientists who did that are bad guys. That's why I tell you to not listen to today's doctors and do your own research, because you will be amazed of what you found. My name is Kalin, Unchanged. I am leading a movement of young people trying to be the best version of themselves and hack their way closer to perfection. Join our tribe right now by subscribing, because at 100 guys here and also 100 guys on our Discord server, join it right now, first link in the description. I will make a free school community where I will give you free courses, free value, free calls with me on Zoom and other things for free, bro. And I need to pay money for that thing. So subscribe right now, join our tribe, and remember that there is a hack to everything in life. Till the next time, hack your diet, because I have told you.